Welcome to This Week with Old Sarge. This week, talking about the last doggone few months before I was getting ready to retire. Living large up there at the Superstation. Shout out to you guys. We're all doing well, making things happen. Improvements happening every day. Things are squared away. And then what happens? Other shoe drops. Getting transferred to The Hope Station. Shout out to you guys. Hate to leave the Superstation, but doggone The Hope Station's a hell of a lot closer to home than the Superstation. So, all right, trying to help me out a little bit coming up on retirement. Now, The Hope Station's got their annual inspection coming up soon, so, woo, it's all assholes and elbows. Got everything ready, got everything squared away. Inspection team. Division has a useless unit called the inspection team, full of useless people. Guess it's a good place to put useless people. At least you don't have to deal with them except once a year. Come on down, everything's strike, looking good. Every corner's got sharp edges on it. Everything is supposed to be right is right, and there ain't nothing doggone wrong. Flying colors is what we pass with. Everything looking good. Got a few more months till I retire. Living large. Well, then what happens? A bunch of assistant station commanders and maybe a few station commanders have a little don't work and play well with troop headquarters, finally come to a head kind of situation. They decide to take all those names and throw them in a hat, mix them all up, see where they're going to send them to. Somehow I got my name thrown in the hat, so to speak, sent down to the big wash. Shout out to you guys. It's like, well, just passed my annual inspection here at The Hope Station, and come to find out the big wash hadn't had theirs yet. Like, dang, I got to go through all that again, getting everything squared away, good to go. Well, ain't nothing but a hill to a stepper. We'll make her happen. Come on down to the big wash. Now, the big wash at the time was a little bit of a punishment station. They'd taken a lot of the hard cases and put them in there where they could keep them all in one station, keep an eyeball on them. So a little bit hard to work with some of these folks. That's all right. They got reason to be pissed off. Plenty of reasons. Doggone pay for the troops has been frozen by order of the governor for well over a year. Etc., etc., etc. They got reason to be pissed off. Well, I jump in there with both feet. Take a look around like you're supposed to. See what you got. Find lots of problems. Find a whole lot of problems. Start fixing a whole lot of problems all at once. Tearing into it. Get my staff sergeants, my patrol sergeants on a doggone same sheet of paper and get this place moving the way it's supposed to be moving. And also getting ready for the doggone annual inspection. So in the midst of all this, station commander comes to my office one day and says, how we looking for this annual inspection? I said, well, we got some big holes. He's like, well, I guess you better figure out how to fill them. Yeah, I've been working on that. See, it's a matter of time. And we had about this much time, and we need about this much time. So it's going to be a squeaker. And he's like, well, you can do it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So we've been working hard, getting the station all cleaned up, troop cars all cleaned up, getting the paperwork all squared away, making sure everything's where it's supposed to be, everything's doggone accounted for. Do pre-inspections several times. My staff sergeants do pre-inspections. My patrol sergeants do pre-inspections. Station commander does one. I do a bunch of more spot checking, still trying to fill some of these holes, making sure everything else that's been fixed stays fixed. So, it's the night before the doggone big inspection. Here we go. So I talked to night shift, doggone nemesis, the Zammer. Let him know if anything goes on over the night shift, before these folks come in the morning and do their big inspection. Whatever mess you made, clean it up. Make sure everything stays good to go. We're looking shiny, looking fine. He's like, you got it. I go home, come back early in the morning, see the day shift supervisor, and he says, we got a problem. You hate walking in the doggone door to work, and the first thing you hear from the person in charge at the time is, we got a problem. What the hell kind of problem we got? He said, well, we've been finding these pictures of you, Xeroxed, hanging up all over the station. What do you mean, hanging up all over the station? He said, well, we found them in the head there, they're hanging from the ceiling, stuck on the mirrors. Said some in your office, some in every office in this building. He points a security camera outside and he says, you see that pillar right there? And I'm like, holy crap, it hung one out there where you see it on the security camera, huh? Yeah, freaking Zam. Oh, wait till you come back to work. Oh, I said, well, get busy. Start taking everything down. And we'll find them inside of closets, find them inside of light fixtures, find them all over the doggone place. They must have burned through 500 freaking copies of this picture last night. Making big ones, little ones, middle-sized ones. Them jerks. And then top it all off, doggone rockets. You don't know what I mean by a rocket. Seems to be the trend of the last couple of years, drawing a rocket. Rockets everywhere. Ah, dang it. So now we're on rocket patrol out there, finding all them things, hiding everywhere. Flip open the doggone vehicle loggers, big old rocket on a piece of paper in there. It's like, yeah. Oh, I see you again. You're done. Zam, tell. So we got a couple hours till inspection happens. So we're tearing this thing up. Captain comes down, our regional commander. Says, he was telling us a little story about being down in central Jersey when they were inspected and how the station commander and the assistant were standing outside at attention. All the troops were lined up by their troop cars at attention, waiting to be inspected. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. We ain't doing that shit here. I know these assholes on the inspection team. Fuck them. They can look at our shit. They can check everything they want to. But I ain't standing out here like some doggone dog and pony show. So, inspection team arrives. They start looking through everything. Whole group, big old group of them. Split everything up. Got all their little checklists, scurrying around looking at everything. One of them goes out in the parking lot. The LT's like, you want to go out there and we'll see what's going on? I'm like, no. Why not? I said, it's going to be a disaster. These hard-headed, hard-nosed, take no prisoners troops, they don't like this inspection team bullshit. That ain't going to go well. So, it didn't. They walk up to the first troop and they're looking him over and like, well, you could have shined your gear a little better, and you got your tourniquet there on the front of your pistol belt. That's not authorized, and you could have done this and could have done that. What do you got to say for yourself, troop? And he's like, well, my pay hadn't have been froze over a year ago. Maybe I could have shined up a little bit better, sir. Good answer. I'm happy with that. Oh, Mr. Inspector, he got his feelings hurt. Come stomping back in the station like he's a little old kid and somebody stole his toy. Not all them folks got a good attitude. It's like, well, what the hell you expect? You've been mistreating them for over a year now. About time you started hearing it from everybody and not just me and the station commander and some other folks. Now you're hearing it from doggone troops. Maybe you ought to get your shit together. Go down there and tell your boss troops are pissed off. They ain't going to put up with this shit much longer. Square it away. Then we'll square everything else away. So needless to say, we did not do too good on that annual inspection. Though the fix was in, because I know a few of the guys on that unit. They whispered to me. They let me know. They were out there to sink our ship no matter how good we did. They were going to make sure we didn't pass. Gotta love it. All on the same doggone team. Just stab me high in the back so I can reach back here and pull them things out myself. I don't have to have anybody else do it. Jackasses. Come back in, did a re-inspection on the things we didn't supposedly do so well on, and we passed with flying colors. Imagine that. So, they got their point across. Doggone troops got their point across, too. I think if you still go down to the big wash and look around, probably still see some doggone pictures of my ugly mug stuck here and there if you ain't. If you look real careful. You ain't in too much of a hurry. You'll probably find a few hanging around. So, shout out section this week. Shout out to all my B troopers out there doing the JOB, holding true to their oath. Doing things the right way the first time, every time. We appreciate what you're doing, so thank you. Thank you very much. Military, we appreciate what you're doing out there at home and overseas. Keeping us safe, standing that post, holding that line. It is appreciated. So thank you. Thank you very much. So till next week, pound that subscribe button. Give her a thumbs up. If you like, give it a share. Supposedly that helps out. Be appreciated. So till next week, me and Christmas Pig. Bye now.